Hi guys, and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. So happy to have you here with me today. Now today's reading will be the mid-monthly reading for all of the signs for mid-month February. So this covers sort of middle of the month of February through the end of the month, focusing on two specific areas, love and relationships and career and finances. For the love and relationships portion of the reading, I'll be using the Wheel of the Year Tarot and the Romance Angels Oracle cards. And for the career and finance, I'll be using the Good Tarot by Colette, Baron-Reid and the Life Purpose Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. Okay, obviously, as I always say, these are general readings, so the messages may or may not resonate with you. The only way for you to get a truly personalized reading would be to order a private reading with me. If you're interested, you can take a look at my site, changingphasestarot.weebly.com, or you could email me at changingphases@gmail.com. Okay, and if you go to my site, you'll find all the pricing as well as the types of videos, the video readings that I offer. Another thing I would suggest is to, besides watching your sun sign reading, also take a look at your moon sign and your rising sign, right? Sometimes the messages, for the one might not resonate with you for that particular period, but the others might. So I do encourage you to take a look at those as well. All right, I think that's it as far as messages go. So I will say goodbye for now, and we'll see each of you in 1 second for the shuffle. Bye for now. Hi Sagittarius, hope you're doing well. Hope you've had a good first half of the month. So I'm here to get into your mid-monthly reading for February, starting off with love and romance relationships. As you can see, I've already shuffled off camera and have laid the spread just to try to save some time. What we have in the is the overall energy for the next 2 weeks, the Knight of Wands. In the past position, so the energy as we head into this end of the month, we have the Two of Wands. In the present position, we have Major Arcana, number 8, Strength. And in the future position, so as we leave the month, heading into the month of March, we have the Moon. And the Romance Oracle card, this could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. Okay, so starting off with this Knight of Wands. When we have court cards appear in a reading, they can be actual people that are playing a significant role in our lives during that time. They can be us taking on the role of, or the energy of that particular court card, or they could just be events, right? Events and situations. Most of the time with the Knights, I tend to view them more as events and situations. But if this is a person, this could be usually a middle-aged, male or female, fire sign individual. Obviously, you are a fire sign yourself, Sagittarius, but it could be either a Sagittarius, a Leo, or an Aries. If so, then usually this person is quite passionate, quite full of life, very confident. Sometimes the person, tends to act first and think later. So that's, on the negative side, it would, the person can be a little bit rash as far as, thinking out next steps or planning things along those lines. But the person, this Knight is very creative, right? The Knight is very courageous as well. It's also exciting, in this particular deck, this Knight is called the Dauntless Traveler, and does speak of, this sort of desire, quest for adventure, right, or for travel. So we'll see how he plays in with the rest of the cards, right? But usually Knights, yes, they bring messages, but they also, they act on things. So usually the pages are the ones who bring in news of things, and then the knights come in and, and act on it. So, usually the suit of wands itself has to do with the day-to-day activities in life, chores around the house, creative projects and creative endeavors, our own creativity and drive and ambition for getting things done, the work that we do. So usually it's more to do with, or at least I associated it more with those types of things. But, in a love and relationship reading, this could be, again, either the person, or this could be you just, feeling very excited, full of adventure, full of, sort of passion and ambition about possibly this person, because we do have this could be the one. So, for those of you who are currently in a relationship, this is just you feeling very fired up, very fiery, excited about this relationship with this person. Now, in the past position, we have another Wands card. We have the Two of Wands. And the Two of Wands has to do with choices. It also has to do with sometimes, actually choosing between two different things, two paths. It's mostly about you taking control of the situation, right? It's you having the authority, you taking matters into your own hands. It can also be, partnering up with people, collaborating with other people. So for some of you, this, coming up in the past position, this could have been you starting to collaborate or partnering up with this person, right? Whether this is an actual partnership or a friendship or a romantic partner, you starting something with that person, and collaborating with them, finding balance and stability in that relationship with that person, working, you see how well they're working together here. Look how, we have this bean, and everything is just growing well. So they're very much, in harmony with each other, and they're helping each other here in the fields. And they are, there's a great sense of collaboration between the two of them, and they both look very happy and content. So this could be, you partnering up, meeting this other person. And in the present position with this Strength card, we have two major arcana sitting next to each other here. We have the Strength card followed by the Moon. Strength usually has to do with, it's our emotional strength, right? Even though on this particular card, the man looks physically very strong, and he's taking on this bull, and he's battling it, and he's trying to overcome whatever this, this obstacle is here. Usually the Strength card, it speaks of strength of, having that inner strength, having that courage, having confidence and willpower, strength of mind, vision, determination, to get over whatever obstacle might come up, on your, as you move through. If thinking of a relationship, obviously relationships have their, ups and downs. And so this is about having that, the emotional strength to deal with whatever that is, but it also, in this particular deck, it kind of takes on more than this meaning of courage and overcoming fear, and overcoming challenges and acting on that, and acting on this, actively trying to overcome these challenges. So for some of you, there might have been something, in the relationship, or even, dealing with your own emotions that you needed to overcome. Because, obviously a lot of us, we tend to carry around baggage. And so, there might have been something from your past that, that you needed to kind of face, or here in the present, you're working hard to overcome, because you've met this person, and you have found that, that balance, that real friendship and sense of, sense of balance and stability with the person. So you're trying to get over possibly something from your past here. But what comes up in the future with the moon card, the moon card speaks of it speaks of hidden things. It speaks of sometimes mysteries, but also secrets. It's associated with, dreams, and, intuition and sort of those messages that we might receive while we're asleep. Because a lot of times during the daytime, our minds are so constantly on the go that we miss out on certain messages. But at nighttime, while we're sleeping, we can many times receive messages that we're meant to receive, that will help us. So for some of you, I would say pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to who or what you're dreaming about. If you're dreaming of a person, pay attention to that. Why are you dreaming about that particular individual? If you're dreaming about, looking back here at this strength card, because it's kind of like the man on the strength card, he's staring right at his moon card, and she's not looking at him. She's looking ahead, but he's kind of looking at her. So maybe, something related to what you needed to, or what you need to overcome is, will appear in your dreams, or you'll have some type of aha moment come through, with something from your dreams. Do pay attention to that. Also, the moon, it can speak of memories. So, that would kind of tie in again with the strength card, right? Also, again, our intuition. So do pay attention to signs, synchronicities, repeating messages, repeating songs. We do have the full moon coming up this first week of March. So, and it happens around from the night of the 1st into the 2nd of March. So, for some of you, there might be something significant that maybe one of these messages, or maybe a dream that you're having around the 1st or 2nd of the month of March. I know that, this is obviously in the future position as we head into the month of March. Just looking back over the cards here. I kind of feel that again, this Knight of Wands is the overall energy. It could very well be you feeling very, excited again about this person, or it could be, the actual person that you are in the relationship with, and it kind of came in quickly, and this person came charging in, and it could go both ways, I think, with that, excuse me, with that Knight of Wands card. But definitely, memories or hidden things in, and with these two cards together, I would say memories or hidden things even about yourself that you're trying to work through, that you're trying to deal with here. Not necessarily, hidden things that the other person is keeping from you. I feel that it's more, things from your past, or memories that, that you're trying to get over or deal with, that might possibly be affecting in some way your relationship. Because, the relationship looks very promising. It looks, if you are currently, and I get that this is more for partnered people. I don't kind of get this as much, for those who are currently single. It could be, but, I'm getting this more as already coupled, you currently have a partner. And again, facing our fears, facing our past fears in order to continue on with our journey here, in order to continue on with this relationship. There might be something that you need to overcome here. Now, this could be the one card. Let me read you. I like to read the full meaning for this card from the guidebook. And it says, this card signals that you've already met the person you romantically seek. Perhaps you're already in a relationship with him or her. The romance angel sent you this card because it seems you're not recognizing or enjoying the full potential of this person and relationship. Sometimes you may overlook someone who's meant for you because you have a different idea of what your partner should look or act like. Take a moment to consider who this might be. The first person to come to mind is probably the one. Next, invite the romance angels into your dreams as you're going to bed. Okay, we were just talking about that. Ask them to give you very clear information about your romantic partner, either in your present relationship or a future one. During sleep, when you're more open to angelic guidance. When you awaken, you may not remember your dreams, but you will have a clearer sense of romance and partnership. Take any action you feel called to based on your inner guidance, even if it seems unrelated to your love life. Trust that the angels are leading you toward the one that you desire. So that's funny because, I mean, definitely this message of, memories and messages coming through in your dreams and, psychically definitely is very strong here. So, interesting. Do pay attention to those. It might be a good idea to keep an actual dream journal. If, it just be a notebook that you leave next to the bed, and when you wake up, jot things down. At the time, it might not make that much sense, but, maybe in a few days or a few weeks, when you go back and look at that, it might make more sense to you then. So do pay attention to that. You're being led to, and these are two major arcana cards, so, significant messages coming through there. All right, let me move my camera over a little. So turning to career and finance, we have as the overall energy for the next 2 weeks, we have the Ten of Fire. This would be the Ten of Wands. In the past position, we have the Nine of Fire, or the Nine of Wands. There's a progression here from the 9 to the 10. In the present position, present being whenever you hear the message, we have the Six of Air, or the Six of Swords. And the future card is the Six of Earth, so another 6, or 6 of Pentacles. And the life purpose card that you have is animals. It says you understand animals and communicate with them intuitively. Trust your inner guidance as the animals are part of your life's work. Okay, so starting off with, well, first of all, the suit of fire, right? Again, we have the 9 and the 10 of fire, which is the suit of wands. And we were just talking about that over here with the 2 of wands and the Knight of wands. So, here generally we think of it as having to do with our careers, creative endeavors, our drive and passion and determination for doing the work that we do each day. And the 10s in the tarot, they are endings, right? Culminations or endings of cycles. And the 10 of fire, 10 of wands, it usually signifies like an end of a oftentimes a difficult time, because this one doesn't show it, but in the traditional tarot, the man, he has 10 wands that he's carrying on his back. It's a heavy burden. He's been carrying those wands, for quite a long time. And so, when he had just 1 or 2 wands, it wasn't that heavy. But, with 10 wands on his back, that's a difficult thing to do, to move ahead carrying the weight of the 10 of wands. So it's usually a card of feeling burdened, feeling overloaded, struggling to, do everything you need to do. Sometimes this card appears when you've been, working too hard, definitely been, putting in lots of overtime hours or working more than you should. And you're just, maybe taking on too much, right? Taking on more than your share of work, and just, kind of that workaholic mentality. So you're, if this is the case, then this is the 10 of fire comes in to really, say, okay, this is enough. You need to release, get rid of excess. And I like the way it's portrayed in this particular deck, because you see that she's put fire to everything. Instead of wands around her, there are these pieces of paper, right? And she has actually, she's burning away all of these burdens, and so it's releasing. It's a card of releasing whatever this excess is. And then obviously with tens, tens are endings, and so endings bring about new beginnings. So, after this ten of fire, we can expect the ace, this ace of fire or ace of wands, which is all about new things and new beginnings. So, this could be you just needing to, again, get rid of certain burdens, right? If you've been working too hard, this can have to do with around the home, releasing, like getting rid of things around the home. Obviously, we're heading into the spring, so doing some spring cleaning, getting rid of cluttering your life, getting rid of things that, if you have clothes in your closet that you haven't used for ages, or, you hold on to them thinking, oh, if I just lose, 20 pounds, I can wear those again. Just get rid of it, donate those things, give them to people who will actually use them and, will be thankful for those things. Which kind of goes along with the Six of Earth card, the give and take, the giving. When you have more than you need, do share of that. So also, this can have to do with the decluttering. Saying goodbye, getting rid of things that don't belong in your life anymore, endings and new beginnings. So that's the overall energy here. And so we have in the past position, as we head into the last 2 weeks, we have the Nine of Fire. So obviously the Nine of Fire is, it's the card before the Ten of Fire, which is the overall energy. And it's, it's nearly at the end, right? It's more of a card of, instead of burden, it's kind of a defensive card. It's a card, kind of a cautionary card. It asks you're a little bit uncertain. It asks you to, to sort of stop, reevaluate things, look around before proceeding on. Just kind of wait, and in order to find, in order to receive that illumination. You see, she's like focused here on these stars. So in order to receive enlightenment or illumination, insight, before you take that next step. But it is defensive. It's kind of that energy where, you're waiting, like you might be knocked down one last time, before you finally make it to the Ten of Fire. So there might be some, some obstacle that in the past that you were needed to to deal with or to overcome, in your work, with your work, or, with your finances, something, one last thing that you had to deal with, or, something that came up quite unexpectedly that, say, okay, I have to deal with that, and you were nearly at this Ten of Fire, but not quite, right? You were a little bit unsure, a little bit uncertain, taking, evaluating everything before moving on. And then we have two sixes next to each other. So we have the Six of Air, or Six of Swords, in the present position, which speaks of, it's a card of, again, it's of leaving things behind, the Six of Air. In the traditional tarot, the Six of Swords, it shows a woman, and she's in a boat, and she is sailing away from choppy waters into calmer waters. So the idea of, leaving behind, leaving in the past, whatever those difficult, times or situation, whatever that might be, and then heading towards calmer waters. In this deck, it's portrayed as a ship, right? But it's actually floating or flying through the air here. For some of you, there could actually be travel involved. For a few of you, there could actually be something to do with traveling over water or traveling across seas, something to do with possibly this ending here with this Ten of Fire and starting up of, a new offer coming in from overseas. It could be. For others, this is just, you getting away from, if you've been going through a hard time at work, maybe things have been, a little unsure or uncertain at work, or maybe things have been difficult, you've been working too hard, you've been, things have been quite hectic, quite difficult. This is you now moving away from that and heading to a more balanced way of working. Look at this. You have the Six of Earth, Six of Pentacles, which is a card of give and take. It's the card of balance, and it speaks of Earth energy, Pentacles. It deals with the tangible things here in the material realm, right? The things that we can touch, the material results for things, like actually seeing those material results. So it's usually associated with the jobs that we do, the money that we're paid for the work that we do, our homes, our families, what we are able to buy, what we can, the material things that we can accrue with the money that we earn. But it's the tangible things, right, here in life. And the Six of Earth itself has to do with give and take, right? So knowing, understanding, and knowing that when you are on, the one side, right, if you are the one who needs whatever this might be, if, this is, it could be finances, it could be support, it could be, just emotional help, it could be, guidance, whatever it might be. If you're on the receiving end, then, be thankful for that, accept the help, accept, whatever the other person has to offer. Then, if the situation is turned around and you're the one who is more financially balanced, you're able to help others, or, if you have time to volunteer, give of your time, give of your knowledge, you do it, so it's a give and take, right? Sometimes the Six of Earth comes in when there's an unexpected, when unexpected resources appear. So sort of happy surprises, unexpected, winning $5 on the, the scratch off lottery card, or finding that, could even be with people filing their taxes, finding out that you're actually getting money back and you thought you were going to owe the government this year. So it's that type of unexpected things. It can also have to do with loans. This could be you seeking out a loan at a bank, or you loaning people other money, or you paying back a loan, right? If you've managed to save up the money and you're paying money back, or somebody paying you back, so it's a give and take, it can have to do with, like I was saying, it can also have to do with not just giving of money, but also giving of our time, volunteering. But it's a more balanced energy. So, excuse me, if you have been working too hard with this Ten of Fire, and you're burned out, and this things need to change, new things need to happen. I see that as you head into the month of March, this is ending. So this you're sailing away from that. You're moving away from working so hard, not having enough time for the other things in your life. Life is, yes, work is important, but life's not all about work. So there needs to be this balance. And I see that you financially you're at the point where you can kind of take your foot off the gas pedal and relax a little bit. You don't need to work that like you have been doing. That's not necessary now. There is more balance coming into your life as you head into March. And this Animals card, let me find the Oracle card book here. So the Animals card says, let me find it. It says, you drew this card because your life purpose involves working with animals. You love them and they love you. You understand and appreciate their kind and gentle hearts, and you frequently stand up for their rights. In fact, you can feel and hear communications from living creatures. This card is a validation for you to trust these intuitive insights and your inner guidance about ways to connect with the animal kingdom. Any career that you get involved in will benefit from you adding animals into the mix. For example, having a pet on site at your store or office will open everyone's hearts and bring joy to all. You may find yourself doing volunteer or charity work on behalf of animals. I was just saying about the volunteering right here. Including rescuing them at shelters or bringing awareness to their rights. With your keen animal communication abilities, you may also enjoy one-on-one work as a caregiver, The list of careers in this field is vast, so be sure to spend time outdoors in nature and give considerable thought to your options. So that's interesting how that this card really tied in with what I was saying about the Six of Earth. So yeah, definitely that could be for some of you. There could be now you're taking time out from your your 9 to 5 job, and you are possibly volunteering, or like it said in the guidebook, you could be incorporating animals in some way, in your job, or in the workplace. But yeah, I do hope that the messages have helped. All right, thank you very much for joining me here today. I look forward to reading for you again, and just know that I'm sending you all much peace, love, and light for a wonderful rest of the month. Bye for now.